Hi, I'm Dinah, and I wanted to read to you today a few of the passages from one of the first class novels. Um, there are actually three passages, and they kind of structure a scene that left a big impact on me. So, bear with me a second till I read this. I'm gonna read it on my PC Kindle. It's from my third first class novel. It's First Class Justice, and here it goes. It's about maybe 40-50 pages in, um, and it's a scene with Katie and Shelby. The sky darkened outside, and Katie sat in her chair next to Shelby's bed. They would be taking her to surgery soon to fix a compound fracture in her arm. The bastard had certainly beaten her with obvious intent to kill. Fortunately, the neighbor had heard her scream and called the police, or else this would have been a very different outcome. Shelby was heavily medicated and drifted in and out of consciousness. Katie had told her who she was, but she didn't think Shelby would remember. Katie had been in this very same room only a few short months ago. Memories flooded her mind, and she closed her eyes as emotions washed over her, drowning her. She could see him, she could smell him, and she felt him hovering over her. She could still feel his hands on her. She could feel him licking her. She remembered his warm breath on her skin, and she felt the bile rise in her throat just like it had done. Katie ran to the bathroom, slamming the door behind her, and vomited till she thought she'd broken a rib. Then she sank to the floor and cried. Cried for her and cried for Shelby, cried like she'd never cried before. Katie hadn't given herself permission to cry. She kept it together for Janie. Who wanted a sad, pathetic maid of honor at their wedding? No, she wouldn't ruin Janie's big day. And then, with each passing day, it just became easier to try and pretend it had never happened. But sitting in Shelby's room, watching the frightened and battered young girl, had allowed herself to cry. A therapeutical cry. And 30 minutes later, she realized how much she had needed it. When she finally was able to pull herself together and leave the bathroom, Shelby was gone from the ER. Where is she? She panicked. So I'm gonna leave you in suspense now, if you didn't read the book. Personally, I recommend reading all the books. I haven't actually read the fifth one, but I can guarantee for the first four. I personally had the biggest emotional connection with the third book, but the first two were also good. I recommend this author because I read a lot. I'm a pretty avid reviewer. I have good standing on the standard sites for like Goodreads and Amazon, etc. And I kind of have like a book collection of about 600 or maybe 500 ebooks and a lot of paperbacks that all compound into thousands of books that I read. I don't even read in the contemporary department. I mostly read in historical romances and maybe paranormal. So it's kind of strange that I liked the first class novels. But this author is very good. And when I say very good, I mean actually fantastic when you take a look at the norm in showing feelings. She doesn't just paint a picture and want you to analyze it and then realize what the character was feeling. She wants you to see it and feel it yourself. It's pretty rare. Most authors take the easier route, and that's kind of having a show and tell, like the character was feeling, instead of just bringing us in the scene where the character is having feelings or an emotional breakdown, like in this one. So this shows that an author has a lot of promise, and I believe in that. And I believe that because of that, an author is worth reading, even though maybe you're not in contact with the whole content of the book, or maybe not liking some of the books. So Hammond is certainly gonna stay on my radar. So, and I hope that maybe this video could interest you into the books in the First Class Novel series. Anyway, this is the end of my very embarrassing home video, and I just wanted to tell you that I'm sending a lot of kisses from Europe and hoping you heed my advice. So, ciao. Have a nice day.